Hi, this is Stephen from Owner Disown. Exidu sent me their 12.5-inch XN1A Ultrabook to review. They are a Chinese company. I had heard of them, but this is the first time I had an opportunity to use one of their machines. It is available on Amazon for $430. I was pleasantly surprised to see that the packaging was nice, clean and sharp looking. The laptop is also nicely packed, along with a red welcome card, warranty information and a generic looking power brick. It was also good to see a screen protector in place. It's good to see a small laptop. The last one I actually used was the Dell XPS 13, but that is much more expensive. I like the portability and it's so easy to hold in one hand. The 247 nit panel is made by Sharp. It has a good colour gamut of 72% of NTSC, has a 2560 by 1440 resolution and is very sharp. Since it is a touchscreen, it is also glossy, but despite this, it remains quite visible under bright lighting. The screen is definitely one of its main selling points. I don't think a QHD resolution is needed on a 12.5-inch display, but it was a pleasure to use and is very responsive to touch. It lies fully flat, but there is a bit of screen wobble when touching it, which can lead to the screen being pushed downwards. The rest of the build is equally as nice. I was actually quite surprised. The lid is made of aluminium with the Exidu logo on the centre. It definitely would fit into a business setting. The back cover is also made of aluminium. The speaker grills are here at the front and the air intakes run along its width at the back. It is also nice to see at this $430 price point that you get a second M.2 slot that is available via quick access panel. It should work for both NVMe and SATA drives. The back is easy to remove and it's nice and stiff. Inside you'll see a 38 watt-hour battery that is good for 6 hours of use at 25% brightness. You have the speakers here and the CPU is cooled with a single fan, which I must admit does get pretty loud even at idle. You can see the two M.2 slots, and the one that comes with the system is SATA with 200 megabytes per second write and 500 megabytes per second read speeds. The keyboard is plastic, as is the Windows Precision touchpad, but it blends in well with the rest of the chassis. The keys are nicely spaced and actually feel quite good to type on. And you have a large escape key here that also serves to turn on and off the white key backlighting. Exidu also gives you a fingerprint reader and it worked flawlessly. This should be standard on all laptops, I think. Now it weighs only 2 pounds 11 ounces. Only slightly more than an iPad in a keyboard dock. It doesn't have that many ports though. On the left there is the power socket and a USB-C port, which cannot be used for charging but can be used to connect to a monitor. Notice how much slimmer it is compared to an iPad and its keyboard dock. On the right is a combo headphone mic jack, micro SD slot and a single USB Type A. So here's the webcam. Not the best quality and the microphone is also pretty quiet. Now, to keep costs down on this laptop, Exidu could either skimp on build quality, skip the fingerprint reader and use a cheaper non-touch panel, or use a cheaper, less powerful processor. So inside we have 8 GB of RAM in single channel, but its Achilles heel is its processor. It uses a Celeron 3867U, a 15 watt part that retails for $107. It was released in early 2019 and only has 2 cores with no hyper-threading and a base clock of 1.8 GHz. It's fine for office work, watching movies, web browsing, but not much more. I tried editing using Adobe Premiere Pro and it was very laggy, and audio would keep stuttering. Its integrated HD 610 graphics was okay in old games like Counter-Strike Source, getting about 40 FPS at 1080p high settings, but try and play a modern game, even something like Fortnite, it struggles using low settings at 720p. You can get by, but it's not ideal. Of course, you can use the stream feature of Steam to run the games on another PC on the same network. And I was actually able to play Far Cry 5 from a PC that was running it 2 floors up and at the other end of the house, although there was some pixelation. Another use case is to use it as a machine that can play emulated games. Here I am using CoinOps as my front end to play Galaxians. So yeah, benchmarks aren't great. Geekbench 5 sees a single score very similar to my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Better than the Pentium N4 2000, but I have, of course, much worse than the A10 chip on my iPad. and the lack of hyper-threading hurts its multi-core performance. It took ages to test Cinebench R15 and R20, and these are very low scores and makes me wish that Exido used an AMD APU such as the Ryzen 5 2500U or 3500U, which are both 15 watt parts with 4 cores and 8 threads with decent Vega 8 graphics. Perhaps they are just too pricey to use. It's a shame because it is a really nice laptop, just held back by a slow CPU. Is the price of $430 worth it? I'm inclined to think it's a little bit expensive given the CPU and the GPU performance. I would like to see it below the $400 mark. But it does have features we expect in more expensive machines, such as a QHD IPS touch panel, mostly an aluminium build with a fingerprint reader and plenty of storage options. The speakers are also pretty loud for such a small device. Its portability and decent battery life may suit someone on the road who needs a machine to check emails, do reports and show presentations. Perhaps like an iPad, but has full Windows at their disposal. Thank you for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.